Muhammad Ali, a champion is born.
Liston was invincible. This was impossible.
And boxing changes forever.
He's going, I told you, and you, I'm king of the world. You must all bow to me.
I'm king of the world!
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ringside Muhammad Ali here on ESPN Classic. I'm Brian Kenny, just blocks away from the Brooklyn Bridge at the site of another historic New York City landmark, Gleason's Gym. We'll roll out vintage Ali bouts from the Classic Library, sprinkle some hidden gems in from the archives, plus have commentary throughout the broadcast from a distinguished panel. Boxing historian Bert Sugar, Canadian heavyweight George Chuvalo. All right, let's set the scene now. 1963, Bert. Tell us, Sonny Liston is the champ. He's beaten Floyd Patterson, defended against Floyd Patterson. Cassius Clay is on the way up. What is the state of the heavyweight division?
Cassius Clay right now is on the precipice of stardom. This is a crossroad fight. It is a major step for him out of Archie Moore and some of the others that he's fought. Doug Jones presents a real challenge, and it's in New York. It's in the focal point and the mecca of boxing at that time. But it's in the middle of the longest newspaper strike in New York history. And here's Muhammad Ali on television, on street corners, selling the fight, talking to anyone and everyone. I mean, he was the Louisville Lip at this time, the mouth that roared. And he packs the Garden. This is a fight against a tough opponent, Doug Jones. And it would be similar to, say, Rocky Marciano and Roland LaStarza before Marciano becomes a champion. This is put up or shut up, and Ali wants to put up and can't shut up, and fills the place. They had to clear the elephants from the circus out of the Garden for this fight.
George, you're already a professional heavyweight. What was the thought at that time for Cassius Clay? You were thinking that he was a meteor on the way up, or was he just in that mix?
Well, he was definitely on the rise. There's no question about that. But before fighting Jones, who was still at the top of his game, he fought a lot of faded guys. He fought guys like Archie Moore, who was a great fighter one time, but definitely on the way out. And the same for Alex Mitiff and Willie Besmanoff, former rated fighters who are on the way out. So this is his real first true test against a guy who was at the top of his game and a very competent fighter, Doug Jones.
What did you think of him? Did you think he would become a dominant heavyweight champion, or did you think he was more of an amateur, just a flashy amateur? At
that time, still a lot of questions to be answered. He was a mouthy kid. He was kind of cute. He pulled off a gorgeous George, and it was all kind of cute. But did I think he was ever going to become the guy he became? Heck no, not a chance.
That's interesting. All right, now 7 of Clay's previous 8 fights had ended in the round he had predicted. He didn't go by the rules. Let's listen in. Cassius Clay talking trash before the fight with Doug Jones.
Oh, I'm not concentrating on Doug Jones. He's nothing but a bum. Sonny Liston is the man I want. I'm not thinking about Doug Jones. Jones will fall in 6, and I might cut it to 3.
You know, if this boy upsets you, you've had it as far as
if Jones upset me, I will retire.
You know, it's amazing, even to this day. You can't look past, and nobody tells you, I'm looking right past this guy. And he's saying, I'm looking right past this guy.
And that might have been a problem.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger element shown there was that up to this point, Clay had predicted so many fights correctly. They all must fall in the round I call. And he was knocking them out, this rhyming poet boxer. We had never seen anything like this before. And so here goes Doug Jones. He's going to fall in 6. In fact, he reduces it to 4. He must, because 4 is the round. He wants Jones to fall in.
George, you fought Doug Jones. Tell us about him in the ring.
Well, Doug was a very competent infighter. When I fought him, it was really right up my alley because we fought in close, and that's what I wanted. But Doug wasn't a big guy, but he's a very competent infighter, and he could also close the gap well if you moved on him. If you notice, when he fought Ali Clay or whatever Muhammad was called then, he closed the gap very well. Ali didn't move a whole lot around him, at least move away from him so much. He was kind of in front of him, and Ali tried to take Doug out in the fight. Tried to take him out. He was right in front of him and very aggressive. And that's really up Doug's alley. And Doug didn't have too much trouble closing the gap, especially over a left jab. Doug countered very well with a right hand over a jab throughout the course of the fight, and it was a problem for Ali during the fight.
Pretty good scattering report a few years later, huh? That's great stuff, George.
Where were you before?
Well, this is a very tough fight, again, and pay very close attention. We're going to look at it right now. The first round, very interesting, very threatening time for young Cassius Clay. Here's round one.
And here we go with a scheduled 10-round bout. The second-ranked heavyweight on the left, in white trunks, Cassius Clay. In the black trunks, waiting to come out, Doug Jones, who is ranked third. 14.5 pounds lighter, Jones in black. Cassius Clay is 3 inches taller. He's in the white trunks, 6'3". Watch his speedy left hand. He's got a beauty. And don't forget, should this bout end in a knockout, we'll have a videotape rerun of the round. You just saw one of Clay's habits, pulling away from punches instead of trying to slip them. This may cause him trouble. Jones in black, 188. Clay, 202.5, and there it is! A good solid punch. And just as we mentioned, pulling away from punches. We've got about 2 minutes to go in round one. Minute and 45 seconds, round one. A good left hook by Clay. About a minute to go. Round one. Forty-five seconds. There's that beautiful left jab by Cassius Clay. A glancing right hand. Ten seconds left in round one.
We'll be back with more of the 1963 Cassius Clay-Doug Jones bout.
He's talking to his trainer, Angelo Dundee. Jimmy Wild is on the outside of the ropes. Chicky Ferrara is to the right of Dundee. Clay, in marvelous condition at 202.5 pounds, is fighting a very determined Doug Jones. Jones caught one left hook that was Clay's big punch of round one. Jones has been knocked down previously. He is just off a 7th round knockout victory over Zora Foley. He's a boy that can take it. He's never been stopped, and the same is true of undefeated Clay. We get ready now for round two. Nearly 19,000 looking on at Madison Square Garden. Hope you're enjoying it. unusual for Clay to have as his only defense backing away from punches. Two minutes to go, round two. These are heavyweights punching with the speed of lightweights. About a minute to go in round two. Neither fighter is cut. Clay has never been cut in his boxing career. Jones several times. Seconds left in round two. The bell in 10 seconds. Chris Schenkel at ringside, Madison Square Garden, as we look at Doug Jones, born right here in New York City 26 years ago. And as you see, he is most certainly an orthodox fighter, very even-tempered, quiet, plods along, as you have seen, and he knows of Cassius Clay's one glaring fault, and consequently has been using that left hook off a jab. This is a boy that knows how to carry the fight to his opponent, and that's what he's been doing. His opponent, Cassius Clay, as we await the start of round three, doesn't seem any the worse for a heavy punch that he took in the first round. He is off a third-round knockout over Charlie Powell. He has knocked out his last 9 opponents, most by prophesying the round. Tonight he has predicted round 4. Here's the third round of a scheduled 10. Cassius Clay, the favorite, despite the more experience of Doug Jones. Two minutes left, round 3. Clay now really using that left hand to advantage, keeping Jones off balance. Glancing punches, some picked off by Jones. Minutes ago in the third round. Good one, too, by Clay. 45 seconds left in the round. The bell in 10 seconds. All sorts of folks who are eating up the action, and we hope you are too. This is the fourth round at the Garden. Clay in white originally predicted a knockout in 6, but then he decided to cut it down to 4. This is the fourth round. No knockdowns. Neither fighter is marked. About 2 minutes to go in round 4. To go in round 4, and as you can see, Jones is going to be a tough one to knock out in any round. Clay appearing a little tired right now after the volley punching, with 45 seconds to go in the round. "30 seconds. Seconds to go. Fans are probably booing about the prediction. 10 seconds. It's round 5 at the Garden in New York. Round 5. Clay in white, Jones in the dark trunks. Jones' attack thus far has been forward, as you've noticed. He's been trained that way against a backing of Clay. We have a minute and a half remaining in the 5th round. No cuts, no knockdowns. Good right-hand shot by Clay.